Alrighty, and speaking of 1v9, the lobby is going to start anyway, so now it is time for us to get into Champ Select, and that we will do. We're starting to see. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, this is the residual leftover Champ Select. Riot Spaghetti continues to mess with us, so this will update as things get locked in, as bans come through, and as champions get picked. Alrighty.
Yeah, and, there's nothing to update left, sorry.
Yeah, ban's still the same. LeBlanc still the first ban for Sam Houston. Tompkins still the takeaway there for the side of Flash Abusers. Even Viego kept the same there, so is this going to be the salty run back?
I think for the bans, most certainly, this should be the Braum ban coming through, and then the Renata. I think that's all very standard, yeah. And so I know it doesn't look like the overlay's updating, but that's just because these bans are in fact the exact same. Now the picks are where I expect to see something different. I don't think that SHSU is going to run the same style of comp again.
No, I don't either. And I'm interested to see what Sam Houston are going to prioritize in this first pick. Do you look to set up your mid laners to continue to ban? Is Mundo going to get locked in there for Sam Houston? Aatrox again. This might just be the salty run back. We've already gotten the first couple of picks. This pick has to change. I don't expect to see the Rek'Sai come out again. Was not enough success there to warrant it being picked up. And oh, the Hecarim hover there could be giving themselves a little bit more team fighting action. Kindred could work. I'm interested to see a lot of hovers here. We'll have to see exactly what they lock in. Kha'Zix, this pick I would like a lot. No, this is going to be the safety of that Hecarim.
Yeah, freshly nerfed Hecarim, but still impactful. Trundle, a solid answer into any champion like Hecarim or Aatrox that just wants to, you know, throw themselves at your backline.
Lock it in.
You suddenly steal all their resistances. Could we
lock it in? Lock that Vigar in. Lock that control mage in. You want to counter this Hecarim? Yes, that's how you do it. They grab themselves a control mage on the Vigar. So they want to limit the playmaking of this Hecarim in this team fights. They want to cut the pony off before he can get out to the races. Now, this Anivia pick would be spicy, and they are responding with a mid laner of their own that they think they can win with.
Wow, so the Anivia into the Vigar should just have permanent lane shove and pressure there. But the Vigar, a brilliant pick into the Aatrox and Hecarim, and I think the bans here might be a result of the Pro Drafts client. I doubt that they actually in real time saw a Veigar locked in Anivia and then immediately banned Akali. But the Akali being banned away does make this Veigar make quite a lot of sense. And again, that Veigar, just tremendous value. Both those two picks, Trundle and Veigar, very, very good answers to what we've seen so far for the Flash Abusers.
This Trundle pickup, I'm very interested into the Hecarim, because in terms of speed of ganking, Hecarim is going to be a lot faster around the map. Obviously, he'll have early setup, whereas Trundle, you're kind of waiting to, you know, get to level 5 before you can get anything. But obviously, you know, we'll have to see how that plays out. Hecarim's just going to be the speedy pony. That's going to be everywhere. And as we're waiting for the final pick, Olaf was the final ban there for the side of Flash Abusers, and Vex will be the final ban there as that was being hovered. Now the Lucian lock-in. So Flash Abusers, do they want to try and pick some early game aggression of their own? They have plenty of late game coverage with the Anivia, I think, and with Hecarim. We'll need to facilitate, then they will. They're going to lock that Lucian in. What will Sam Houston respond with?
Xayah, a very good answer into the all-in of Lucian. Yeah, that's Xayah, and you deny away the Nami. That is a good job. Again, we're not sure the pick order, but just on paper, that's a good job. Whoa!
I don't like this brand.
Did that happen?
I don't like this brand because it gives you a little bit too much AP and you lose a little bit of the engage. I was about to say the Nautilus makes a little bit more sense here. But we're not a band. You're not so much worried about the trading, and that's going to give them some engage. So, yeah, the Nautilus pick makes a lot of sense there. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we are on to the rift for the third and final game between Sam Houston State Esports and Flash Abusers. This is it. Win this game, you win the whole series, and you shake up the standings a lot. For Sam Houston, win to keep sole possession of first place. Flash Abusers win, and you cause chaos in the standings, and they are running it mid-style, going to force the Flash exactly as you called. Sam Houston not being respectful of the fact that that Nautilus could just run down the middle lane, and they will get a Flash as a result of that.
Yep, and now because Veigar doesn't have Flash, you can leak over into the enemy jungle, you can poke around, get a ward down, continue to... I would like to see them move it a squad here as we see more pings and potentially this getting punished.
Style might be caught out right now. Is going to get stunned up. Yeah, it has no flash. He's just going to drop. Sam Houston overextended first blood, going exactly where they would want it to. Leon on Lucian going to be happy to have that first blood gold.
Brilliant start from the Flash Abusers, who live up to their name by abusing the lack of flash for Style. just poetic there. Like I said, this Nautilus March has been all over the rift in every major region. This is something that SHSU should have been prepped for. The answer to it is to simply send the Mundo, in this case, who's got that passive, as your mid lane check in the 5-point start. Have him stand there, because who cares if Nautilus hooked him? It's just going to proc the passive and he walks away. Good start here for the side of Flash abusers.
Yeah. And then the spillover that too is that Style is going to be down that Flash for the next several minutes, so he is going to be vulnerable to ganks from this Hecarim who does have access to the Ghost, is going to be able to wrap around him and work to affect this middle lane. So Style going to have to navigate a very rough matchup for the next several minutes, and I'm expecting to see this get even rougher as Leon, he has that long sword. He's going to be making that start to stick. Bento landing that early hook and trading in the bot lane, going the way of Flash abusers.
Yeah, Flash abusers finding a favorable trade off of the dredge line without even having a level advantage this time.
I'm sure that tasted pretty good to get that.
Oh, yeah, well, and not so tasty for SHSU. That probably left a salty taste in their mouth as we see the Hex Splash spam coming out. Yeah, this Nautilus, Bento's feeling himself piloting this champion. And now we're going to see pings go down for a delayed invade onto this red with this bot lane prio. I love this early aggression from Flash abusers in a do-or-die game.
Sam Houston should know that this is going down. Pillar just to buy a little bit of time, but it may not be enough because guess who else is roaming? Mid wants to try and make his way down there. Vigar trying to cut it off a little bit. And they denied this red buff from Fozzie Bear. This would be brutal to get. It's going to be another hook landing on the side of Bento. Melancholy going to try and land the bubble, but not able to do so. One more auto. Ignite is ticking. Melancholy not going to drop just yet. It's going to be dash forward and going to get it. And now Fozzie Bear's got to get his way out of town. Style. He's going to get a go off. No Flash. He's stuck behind the wall. 1v9 Squid. He's going to knock this down. They are starting to run away with this early game. We've got 3 kills in just as many minutes. Oh, and this Flash Abuser squad, they've got to be feeling so good right now.
It is a total takeover of the red side of the jungle for the Flash abusers. This delayed invade, brilliant. You've got priority in both of the lanes on the bottom side of the map, and they use that beautifully. This is the kind of start that you see from high-level teams. This is very, very good gameplay, and I love to see this from collegiate teams because this is the kind of thing you'd expect to see from literal, solid professional teams. Great start from the Flash abusers.
And Fozzie Bear is only just not going to be able to start that red buff. Obviously, that was not denied, so he'll be happy just to secure that in the end, but still a lot of suffering left to do for them because those kills, as the scoreboard needs to be updated, so we will take care of that in just a second. So we're going to toggle it, and hey, there we go. It's double longsword there for Leon. He's going to have the continual advantage to CS. I like he forced to blow the Flash to get out of those chains. Was going to get wrapped up there. Oh, yeah, this map is pretty rough for Sam Houston right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the red buff going over to Fozzie is nice. At least he doesn't lose too much or even more XP and gold. But I think the price of that red buff was Style getting caught out. So even that small win came at a heavy cost. Every lane winning, even the jungle winning. This is a very dominant start.
Oh, he gets pulled back into the queue. Shen Mulfer managed to land the abilities in just the right time. Unlucky had no way out of there. Didn't have access to the shield. Solo kill going away in the top lane. Aatrox, he's going to feel pretty good about that too. And I mean, you talked about it, the hefty price of that red buff. If you're in the bargain mart and you're trying to get that red buff, that's like $1,000 red buff. You're like, what kind of deal is this? But you got to pay it because you want to stay in this game. But it cost you quite a bit. And yeah, Flash abusers now look to see them start to try and smash this lead through. Bento getting caught out on vision. Bento's wrapping around. Do they want to get this? It's going to be a teleport out from Anivia. No, they will just back out the pinging on him. He has Flash.
They're waiting,
will be
patient. Safe. Bento's been patient, though. He's got his real Flash up in a second. Just going to back off as Style does smell what's cooking there and back away. And one point I want to make really quickly on this top lane. One, this is the way you expect to see the Aatrox Mundo pass or lane go when there isn't an Olaf constantly running at the Aatrox. He can just spam knock that passive off of Mundo and bully him under the turret. But also very unfortunate for iLucky that he wasn't even able to find Grievous Wounds on that reset. So he's going to be trapped in this lane with the teleport burn and no Grievous Wounds when the ults come through. This is really probably going to start to get rough for iLucky. And here comes Squid to make sure of it.
Yeah, and that lack of it is now. Never mind in the bot lane. Eskel just going to drop as quick as you please. Lightning fast. They're going to knock him down. And now iLucky going to be forced to try and walk out of this one. Chain not going to land, so he'll walk out. But that's a poor consolation prize getting bullied here. And I mean, you highlighted it, without the lack of that grievous wounds, that means that they can just dive him whenever they want to, so it will be difficult for him to survive. It's a level disadvantage there that's just going to continue to stick. We'll take over now, but that ultimate may not be enough to save him. The squid is here. iLucky doesn't have access to the flash. He's going to get knocked back. He's going to get pulled in the chains. One more Q would do it. Gorge Drinkers to try and buy a little bit. The Iron Spike whip. Shin, can he take this out? Yes, he will be able to survive underneath the turret. One more auto did it, and not even going to get traded back, so he's just going to walk his way out of here.
Wow, the ADC is solo invading enemy raptors. This game is
It's 6 minutes into the
horrendous.
game, Kramer. It's 6 minutes, and he doesn't even get his own
bad for
raptors.
Sam.
This
No,
is...
and to have the Lucian of all people, electric sliding in to steal your chicken dinner from you. Oh no, this is just
He's electric boogaloo in this game already. I mean, but it's what do you do? As Sam Houston, I mean, what do you do right now? You can't contest anywhere on the map because the itemization, I mean, it's 7 minutes. He has the completed Noon Quiver right now. Boots completed. He's up a little bit of CS right now, so Sam Houston just going to be forced to CS this right now just to try and wait and be patient, right? But they can't, I mean, look at bot lane. They can't even approach the wave. That is the effect of those kills going over to Leon. 3-0 right now on that Lucian.
the unseen Nautilus is the deadliest as he just stands on this control ward waiting for the dredge line we're about to see. Okay.
Splits the
Bit of a
uprights.
field goal, +3.
That's a win.
But-
If you're Sam Houston, that's a win. You didn't get hooked, so you don't get to die. So that's you take those.
You just bought 12 seconds of actually being able to hit your minion wave, but you still didn't get the cannon. Oh, this is just brutal. But let's pull out some copium takes, shall we? Never mind. Nope.
Nope.
It's a flash dredge line.
You want to talk about copium? It's going to be a flash dredge like Sam Houston trying to live in this bot lane. Ignite down onto Leon, so he's going to tick low. Culling was used there, so Sam Houston, they can look to push this out a little bit. They have the health lead. It was a decent trade. They got a lot out of that Flash Abuser's bot lane. They will be ticking over to 6 here soon. No, actually, they won't because Melancholy is still level 4. That disadvantage, so yeah, they've just been thoroughly pushed out of this lane for so long, denied so much CS that even not having the level lead is still going to force them, or not having the level lead is going to force them into a further disadvantage.
As we see more trades going down in the top lane that iLucky is not going to win.
He's just going to die. He pops the ultimate, but Shen, he's just going to start to slowly get this one down. No flash means you get to die. And Shen, he's going to start to run away with this game. 3-0-1 there on the Aatrox, has an assist. So he's doing even a little bit better than his ADC, who has been just fed resources. Shen didn't have to do a whole lot to get any of that, and has just continued to run away.
Yeah, you know this game's in a bad spot, and the Lucian gets to stay in lane with the 300 bounty, no flash, no heal, and 200 health to his name. When he's sticking around because he's that confident,
Bento?
he's going to continue to win.
He has ultimate style.
Bento
ticking.
in a
Gonna
box.
land the hook. Oh, washed at mid is here, though, so the follow-up is there. Forced out flash from style, so will live, but forced to blow that key summoner yet again.
Yeah, Bento looked to be in a box there and in trouble, but with the depth charge committed and washed up mid moving up, too risky for Style to stick around as we continue to see iLucky brutalized in this top lane matchup. Boots 2 and a pickaxe come through for Leon. So this bot lane, this Lucian's just going to get to have his lunch and eat it too. As even when they have control over the wave, SHSU's not able to get anything off of this. And I talked earlier about trying to come up with some copium takes. At this point, I think the best take is that it is humanly possible for Flash abusers to make a mistake, but we're gonna have to wait to see what that is before I think that there's really that much of a window here for Sam. They are getting suffocated in this early game.
Yeah, 0-7 right now is the scoreboard for them. It's a significant gold lead for them. They're about 3,000 down. They're going to continue to struggle right now, especially as the items start to come through some of these carries. Iron Spike Whip already done for Shin, has been completed for some time. Lucian will be looking to complete that Gale Force here soon. Already has access to the upgraded boots, so this just not get any easier for Sam Houston. There's a lot of bleeding, a lot of suffering left to be done before they can get back in this one. And, I mean, Kramer, right now, if you're looking, like, Escargot only has just not completed the Vampiric Scepter, only has the Serrated Dirt. Fozzie Bear going to be trying to trade onto Squad right now. iLucky's here, but they don't win this one right now, or do they? They're going to turn that right back down on top of him. Shin Mofer going to be left to do all the work on this one. He's going to get one, going to try and get a second one. iLucky doesn't have access to the flash. Q's going to miss, and he will get out, so it will be a 1-for-2 in the end, though, total, because Style died in the mid lane. I'd like to see how that happened. I completely missed that. I'm assuming an overextension there, got caught behind a wall, didn't have flash, so yeah, just going to be a solo kill there for the Anivia.
Yeah, I'm thinking that probably involved a QER combo 4 washed up mid. And then in the top lane, I think it is worth noting that Squid just ran into the one member of SHSU that is not that far behind.
He's not going to live this.
Ilucky,
He has no flash. Sulfur's just going to chase this underneath the tower. Oh, will he? No, he's going to die. Outplayed by Ilucky. Turret Gaming, Sam Houston. That gets their second kill. Shutdown gold going to go over to Ilucky. That is a consolation prize to be sure, but one that he will be happy to have.
There's my copium take. Mistakes are possible. And that is definitely 2 of them in a row from the side of the Flash abusers. With Squid getting caught out.
He's gonna die. Yeah, that's gonna be 2 ultimates committed there. They're gonna get him in the end. He's gonna go back to the death realm. They are punishing this Vigar ruthlessly for not having access to that flash.
Ilucky on a control mage was an interesting choice for the game 3 focus when we've seen him have so much success with mobility. Oh, we are about to be bot lane gaming. This is a 4-man. This is a dead Zaya and Nami. I'll put money on it.
They're going to try and get out of this one now. They don't have access to ultimate on Bento, but the tidal wave is going to come out. Oh, my word. Nami just deleted on that one. Even that was surprising at the speed. That's a double kill going over to Flash abusers. They are starting to try and run away with this game as early as they possibly can. The only consolation for Sam Houston out of that one is that there's no dragon.
Well, and Squid didn't get any kill participation there, so they're denying the snowballing hacker.
Yes, going to be kind of the cause. Don't worry, guys. It's a double kill, but hey, at least Squid didn't get any kill participation. Shen going to be trying to get out of this top lane, has access to the ultimate, so will be safe just for a little bit, but is just going to drop that kill being given over. But that's going to be traded by Lee into the bot lane. Just going to start picking up. So let's play. No, don't do it to him. No, he knows he's there. He's going to stun him. He's going to land the Q, but that's just to tickle him out of the Raptor camp, just to convince the Nautilus to, please don't dive me.
Yeah, the Trundle here for Fozzie Bear finding small windows is noteworthy. This champion is excellent at punishing the comp that the Flash abusers have, so there's still going to be windows with Subjugate to any time a bad engage is taken, which this is not one of.
That's calling. Mullicolor trying to get out, but he's just going to get run down. That's going to be the fish going down to the jungle. Eshkol going to get dived here, has access to the... No, does not have access to the ultimate. Now, the Dredge Line's going to miss, so that means he gets to walk out, but he will just get to stick around to watch this turret plate now. Kramer, this turret is still pretty tanky, even despite the lack of the plates. As you can see, those autos basically just doing no damage. You know, prior to the plates actually falling down and not having more members, and it is a little bit difficult to knock them down. Is Escrow? Fancy himself a trade. No mana on Leon, but he's just going to walk out of there.
Lucian, still a caster ADC, needs mana if he wants to force this. Good to see him not be too disrespectful here. The Nautilus reset as dragon spawns is a little suspect to me. I think this should have just been a dragon take by the side of the Flash abusers, but I'm not going to harp on them too hard, as they clearly seem to know what they're doing this game. All 3 of their primary carries, by the way, have 4 kills at the 14-minute mark.
I think it is going to be just the waiting on the full reset there, because they know that the jungler is top lane. That's why Shin, you just saw him just straight up walk in there. I think he had knowledge that the Trundle was going to be there. So they know that Trundle's top side. They're going to be waiting for this bot to reset anyways. Ilucky going to be drawing Shin into this one. Now, Bento is here. This isn't 2-on-2. This guy's going to be a 3-on-2, and they may be getting dove underneath this turret. A stun's going to land underneath the wall. One auto would do it. Ultimately, they come out from Bento. They're going to knock him down, and now this will just be Sam Houston losing this top lane turret. You have to believe they're not even going to be able to trade it for a dragon, because Trundle is in that top side. So first turret going the way of Flash abusers.
Second turret likely to follow with the Herald up here. They could just continue to force this on the top side, and I would like to see them do that. Get off these wolves and go top, Squid. Go take the tier 2 turret.
I believe Fozzie has the Herald. So, yeah, he has the Herald.
You are correct.
So consolation plans for Sam Houston. They won't be losing that one. Lee ain't going to jump over style. He's going to have to find this one. Not able to delete him, and now Leon may be able to turn this one around. He has access to the culling, has used the flash and the heal, and that's just going to be a lot of resources wasted for the Sam Houston mid lane to not get a whole lot. Yes, they will get that turret, but that is a very, very poor gimme prize. Knocking that down, get some of the turret gold, but that's going to be traded for a tier 2 in the bot lane. Or sorry, in the top lane.
Yeah. Tier 2 in the top lane, 800 gold going the way of the Flash abusers. Definitely far more valuable than that, even with the bounty turret in the bottom lane. And, you know, I was wrong about who had the Herald, but I was right about the macro take. You know, you take the tier 2 turret top. Good job,
turret top. You know what else you take if you're Squid? You take Vigar's life. It's going to be the teleport coming out, and oh, no, they're just going to choose to walk out of this one, but they will get that resource out of Ilucky, who was trying to go for the reset, was in that top lane, but now is just going to be the bot lane because, well, you're trying to keep Vigar alive. And that's kind of the state of the map right now for Sam Houston, is wherever Flash Abusers wants to force, Sam Houston has to respond to keep members alive, and they're having to donate significant resources. Hold on. That is a very nice Horizon. Now, Melancholy is going to pick that one up. You hate to see it, but at least that player is down, and now this could be the Dragon going the way of Sam Houston. Now, Leon's going to be down for 20 seconds. They have the full team here for the side of Sam Houston. This is the zone control we were talking about. Sam Houston trying to set this up. Washed just trying to land the ultimate down. Not going to be able to pick anybody up, though. Style knows that Shin Mulfer's there. Sam Houston, they're going to get themselves the Dragon. They're going to start to try and get their way back in it. That's an excellent pickup for them.
Leanne needs to position more carefully, obviously, around these objectives. Understand his value as
Escargol's just gonna die. It was a hook. It was a pull. And the chicken, the frozen chicken bird has got another kill. It's 5-0-3. It's got an already completed item. Has a blast one. Has the tier. That bird has got stonks. If you're into NFTs, Stonk Bird is the new NFT.
Yeah, children, divert your eyes. It is bird-on-bird crime in the mid lane. As we look to move forward here, and back to what I was talking about, this Anivia is fed out of her mind, by the way. Leanne needs to understand, though, that he has to position carefully. Everyone on the side of Flash Abusers that is playing a carry champion can carry this game. So don't be the one detriment that makes it uncarryable. You do not need to be 1v9 on the solution when your Aatrox can 2v1 any pairing on the enemy team. When your Anivia can do what she just did to that Xayah, as this Herald ultimately ends up being gold in the pockets of Flash Abusers.
Yeah, they're not going to get anything out of that one, and that kind of stinks. And you know what else is going to stink? Fozzie getting 1v1'd by Shin Mulfer is going to break the chain, so we'll just be happy to live and not donate any more gold over. This is Sam Houston just trying to hold on to what bit of the map they can, but they're being chased all around right here. Now, important well, I gotta even make that point. Tidal Wave's gonna come out. Escargol gonna blow the ult to get the safety, gonna rip the feathers back. So will blow those summoners just to live there. Not much of a commitment other than Bento's ultimate. But the point that I wanted to... Oh, sorry. Well, the point that I wanted to make to give you something to talk about is that it is important for Flash Abusers that they have this lead to not try and crack the base of Sam Houston too early. You do not want to feed super minions into Sam Houston and give them a chance to get back in this with free gold prior to 20 minutes until you can get the Baron. Yep, Sam Houston, they're going to get ganked to the mid lane here. Escargol, no access to any of the abilities to keep him alive, and so he's going to get punished for it. He's going to drop. Oh, and the Dread's line going to land hook. Bento's going to get in on this one. That's going to be another kill going over towards Flash Abusers. He's going to flash the emote on him as well. Let him know how he's feeling. Sam Houston just not able to stay alive anywhere on the map right now.
Bento is absolutely on one this game. He is feeling it on this Nautilus pick, finding engage after engage. Sure, he's missed a dredge line or two, but who cares when every time he hits one, it's a kill. Even with the Anivia teleporting in to get instantly stunned, Bento's presence, being in the right place at the right time, ensures that she's under no threat. And honestly, if they do ever turn this bird into an egg, I doubt they ever get that egg into an omelet, because I would not be surprised if Bento is there to continue to enable his team. Really, really doing a great job from the beginning of this game on this Nautilus.
Yeah, and outside of that one moment around the Dragon Pit where they were able to get that one, we haven't seen much of them. Escargol, no flash, has no access to the ultimate, is likely just going to drop right here. Tidal Wave is going to go completely wide, and now the Nami may be made to pay as well. Shin can dive us underneath the turret, but does choose not to. But that is, I mean, that's the state of the game for Sam Houston. Try underneath the tier 2 tower, effectively not able to get anything. And Flash Abusers, they're not done yet. They want to try and get more out of this jungle from the side of Sam Houston. iLucky just trying to face check, trying to buy information. Gets walled off, forced to blow the flash. Yeah, and now Flash Abusers, they are just absolutely taking everything that they want to. Ultimate not going to knock down Lee into the end. One more Q, not even able to do that either. Bento going to root him up, and Style is slowly going to take away one more Horizon just to buy a little bit more time. Shin trying to get underneath this turret. Wall off to buy Sam Houston just a little bit of safety. Shin will walk out, and ultimately it's a none for none at the end of all of that.
Yeah, just a lot of summoners blown and mean spells being thrown at each other, but no kills actually coming through there. One thing I do want to highlight while we have a moment here, going back to that solo kill that Shin found onto a Reshkagal, is the increased level of macro understanding, moving up off of the wave to make sure that everything that Sam tries to do right now comes at a cost. Every wave is contested. You always have to fear for your life. Even if you think you're just picking up a wave that's being pushed into your base, the unseen Aatrox is going to come to zone you off of that and punish you for the overextension. Very, very good play so far from the Flash Abusers. That makes me wonder where this was last game.
Now, they may have a chance to turn this Anivia into an omelet. She gets out for now. That will stop the recall. Sam Houston, they are a little bit stronger in terms of presence right now. They might have first access to this dragon. Now, teleport's not available for Washed. Sin will have access to the teleport off of the reset if he does choose to do so. Color going to come out for Leah. Not going to land on anybody, though, so that's a massive engage tool gone for the side of this Flash Abusers team. Now, Sam Houston can look to wake their way towards this dragon. They have to secure on the vision right now. They're going to knock down that control ward for sure. This will be the second dragon going the way, but Flash Abusers not going to let this one go.
No, the Flash Abusers need to move into this S5. They should not be giving this over. The late reset, though, takes away all their priority on the map. Maybe they can look to punish, though.
This is a late engage for Flash Abusers. They're going to try and land it regardless. Tidal Wave's going to buy a little bit of time, but that's not enough to save Leon. Or sorry, not enough to save Fozbear. He's going to drop there. Leon going to be clicking up another kill, and yeah, this is just going to be Baron. There's no way you're going to try and contest this to Sam Houston.
Yeah, you pick off Fozbear. Yes, you gave over a second dragon, which is not a great look with this much of a lead, but no jungle. This is no longer a 50-50. You're not flipping anything. This is just a free Baron at 22 minutes. And we talked about waiting until this Baron was up to be able to start cracking the base. Looks like that is exactly what the Flash Abusers are going to try to do as they take a commanding lead. 9,000 gold now. Second items coming through for everybody. I am very confident in their ability to continue to snowball this ahead, but like we talked about earlier, still the opportunity for Sam to find mistakes.
But, I mean, that is Sam Houston. That's your only win condition. You're waiting on mistakes from this Flash Abusers team. Because if you're looking at the way they're trying to start team fights right now, they don't have access to the key members of this Flash Abusers lineup. You're not able to get on top of the Lucian. You're not able to get on top of the Anivia, who has not had her passive pump the entire time. She is 6-0-4 right now. Lucian 5-1-4. Washed admittedly and absolutely delivering. I mean, it's standout performances from everyone too. Even Shenmue for 5-2-1. This is just honestly a team effort by everyone on this Flash Abusers squad. They have played this game so remarkably cleanly. And Sam Houston right now just left without a lot of answers. It does feel like they are waiting for a hyper late game situation and praying for mistakes from this Flash Abusers squad.
Yeah, 4-20 in kills at 24 minutes is not a good look for Sam, and they haven't even made it to 24 minutes yet, so who knows? This could get worse before that happens. But for Sam, there is still this comp that wants to be engaged on, right? They're behind mostly because they can't choose any fights, but at the end of the day, this is still a comp that thrives when you run into them. So if they do find the opportunity to punish and engage, it could be a very decisive turn, and I'd look for that to be the primary way that they might be able to find a way back into this game.
This is a 4-1 setup right now. 4 Flash Abusers just slowly sieging on this mid lane turret. Meanwhile, you've got iLucky Sam Houston. You're going to have to try and find your way into this one. The full commit from Sam Houston, SHU style. Not able to get anything. Tidal Wave going to hit onto basically nobody. So nothing going to come out of that one. Even after blowing everything, they could not lock down the Lucian, who is going to get this reset. And meanwhile, in this top lane, Shin Mulfer just going to continue to siege this Sam Houston. They can continue to try and buy a little bit of time, but it's just they're being pulled across the map right now. Lucian's going to come back out on top of this, and the siege continues. It's basically like nothing even happened, and the FA, they're just right back out to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lien continuing to hit style with the not even close on this Lucian. It's going to be close eventually, but for now, repetitively taking this combo, trading out the heal for the Veigar combo, and being able to find success by baiting out those spells. It's still just funny to see the Lucian continually opt into that exchange, but the bot lane rotation here, very, very good from the side of the Flash Abusers. Get this last outer turret, leave your Aatrox up there in a lane where nobody can successfully match him, and this is just a good Baron snowball as the gold lead now approaches 10,000.
Speaking of 10,000, it may be a whole lot more because the FA, they're trying to find more in this bot lane. It's going to be the full commit. Onslaught of Shadows on top of Melancholy, trying to get out, trying to buy a little bit of time, and they do in the end, but what does it cost them? 2 kills going down for Sam Houston, washed up mid. Eat a couple turret shot, but that's going to be the turret going down regardless. Style, can he live this? Is going to go into the zone. He is Shin Mulfer. He can take some of these shots. It's going to be a flash out. Q's going to go wide, so is the Horizon. Not going to be able to land anything on top of him. Jin only has to wait this out. Frostbear is here, and he's going to get down to the end. Pillar should try and buy a little bit of time, but they cannot kill this Aatrox. Aatrox, no matter what they do, he is surviving right now. It will take multiple members, and in the end, Escargol is going to get the shutdown. No, sorry, that's going to go to Fozzie Bear, but what did it cost him in the end? His two end up dying on the side of FA, but more than that was given for the side of Sam Houston.
Yeah, the entire outside of the base stripped away and laid to bare, as all that stands now is those inhibitor turrets for the side of the Flash or Sam Houston. This game completely out of hand, but still the base holds, right? And so that is a sign of hope here for Sam Houston. The items are starting to come through. They've got their second item completions now as well. And so I do think that there's still a chance, and they picked up 2 dragons, right? So Soul is a long shot as a win condition for the side of the Flash abusers, because they did give over 2 dragons from a position of power where they didn't need to do that. And so Sam might be able to hold out and wait until this comp can fully, come to fruition as a comp that's hard to engage on.
Shin Mulford going to commit the teleport into that jungle. So this will be the second Drake going the way of this Flash Abuser squad. And Kramer, there's something I have to point out. It's been bothering me a little bit, and I think it bears witness now. I didn't want to point anything out earlier because I wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt, but I can't anymore. If you look at the rune selection style from Sam Houston's style, I think this is a case of losing to Boris. I really do, because that is that's Vygar first strike, and I'm going to be honest with you, that's not the best rune that you would think you would want to have on top of the Vygar. But you know what we're going to have right now? A full-on engage from Flash Abusers. They've got the Vygar, and they're going to get a whole lot more. iLucky trying to get out of this one. Dash forward from Leon, who almost drops. Live with a sliver of health. Another hook out from Bento. Flash out. Pelor going to buy a little bit of space. Escargol trying to find something, but E2 is going to drop below half. This Anivia getting work done has not been threatened at all. And meanwhile, all throughout this, Shin Mulfer still sieging onto these towers, still trying to knock these Sam Houston structures down. Sam Houston, though, I think they'll be happy just to only drop Vygar, but again, the state of this game, they are constantly being pressured to these team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to your point, as that's just, ultimately going to be a simple trade out there. I think the real loss to Boris here isn't necessarily the rune. The rune's a bit troll, but also it's worth noting the Vygar expects to be permanently shoved into his turret, right? He expects for Anivia to constantly have him under tower, sieging him, and so he can try to harass her, find some extra gold. Normally you would run the Predator on Vygar, but that requires that you have some sort of lane priority. That requires that you can clear a wave and proc the Predator and run bot or run top with it. The real loss to Boris, I think, is in going for the Luden's Tempest.
Echo. Yep.
Yeah, I think that it's just objectively better to go Everfrost in almost every situational for the Vygar, and so that's and I mean that is literally Boris, the shopkeeper that he lost to there. So I defend the rune. The mythic, though, I think a bit troll.
Yeah, but I think Sam Houston going to continue to feel the effects of that one. I think maybe for style, he's thinking that, the super late game scaling, having access to that Luden's damage will help them. But, I mean, as you rightly pointed out, in this instance, it would be better just to have the Everfrost, just to buy yourself some more time, give yourself some more additional lockdown, and maybe finally kill that Lucian that he has been gunning for now about 15 minutes, he has not been able to kill once. Not for lack of trying, mind you, but it's just been so rough for him. And I think for Sam Houston, before I let you make your point, I think for them it's just a matter of trying to navigate this matchup and buy time for these carries to come online. Again, the base has not been cracked yet. Yes, they have no out of towers remaining, and they have a lot of objectives to pick up, but I mean, in this specific instance, you're just happy not to lose your base.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other note with the Everfrost that would have been nice here is you're against an engage comp, right? What feels better than seeing the Hecarim charging towards you, pressing one button, and a big ray of ice just stops him dead in his tracks, right? They're definitely...
Speaking of dead in his tracks, Bento maybe dead where he stands, but that's yet another Nautilus ultimate that kills nobody, and in the end, iLucky gonna have to pick that one up, but it's the full re-engage from Flash Abusers. What do they want to get out of that one? Multiple stuns, buying time right now. Sam Houston trying to stay healthy. Escargol is gonna knock out the Aatrox, and that may be the go button that Sam Houston needs. They are continuing to defend this base. They have done everything they need to do to hold on to it right now, and this Baron buff ultimately not gonna be much for Flash Abusers. It's gonna get stalled out. Sam Houston, they are fighting very scrappy right now to stay in this game.
Yeah, that's an example of them being hard to engage on, is this fight's not over.
No, it's not. Style trying to find another one is going to land the event. Horizon on the 2. Leon, he's going to finally drop. That's the Lucian. The Nami gets it, but you're just happy he's dead. Washed up mid. Can he manage to get away from this one? Going to throw the wall down. That's 4 dead for the side of Flash Abuser. Sam Houston, they may have found what they need to get back in his game. That's a lot of gold going into their pockets.
Yeah, indeed it is, and that's, in addition to the pick, just a good example of this Sam Houston comp being hard to engage on. You fight them in these tight choke points where the value of the Veigar Event Horizon, the value of the Xayah Featherstorm is increased, and they're going to be able to turn fights unless you can cleanly blow somebody up. And now they've got an objective bounty to their names, a couple shutdowns. This could start to pivot back the other way, but I still think that Flash Abusers have enough of a lead that if they learn from that mistake, the game is still very difficult to navigate for Sam Houston.
Yeah, but you're going to start to see some of these members, you know, to kind of counterpoint that on the side of Flash Abusers to start to fall off. Aatrox only becomes so strong. Lucian only becomes so strong that Xayah going to become more and more lethal. This is a lethality Xayah that we're seeing here. There's a little bit of a crit mix up there too with the kind of collector, so it's a bit of a hybrid build that's kind of going on there. But the point remains that she's going to do a tremendous amount of damage, and you know, as much zone control as this Flash Abusers team does have, Sam Houston has just as much, so they are able to play around it as well. And you know, ultimately speaking, Veigar only going to become stronger. This is going to be a huge fight for this third Drake.
Absolutely. This is a interesting situation as Sam can't really take this fight. They have got no engage. So I think if they've got to find a pick, and Flash Abusers, you just kite this out and realize that what are they going to use to engage onto you, right?
Dragon is resetting, and they're going to try to engage right now. That's going to be the Dragon going over the way to Flash Abusers, but they're going to have to live to make the most use of it. Sam Houston trying to get something. Wash is trying to buy a little bit of time. The ultimate's going to go down, but she will finally go into that passive. Meanwhile, it's Melancholy and Style getting it done. The Anivia's going to fall. Veigar's going to pick that one up. Style is styling on him. Leon trying to get away from this mood down. He's not going to be able to. Shen trying to get a couple of kills on the back line. Style trying to find a little bit of time to hit. Melancholy buying a little bit of extra time. That's going to be the bubble coming down. Shen is going to drop. That's going to be a team fight win for Sam Houston. They lose the Dragon, but they get the kills.
Absolutely, and just like you talked about, the champions of Sam Houston are starting to come online. They didn't necessarily find an engage so much as just find the Flash Abusers out of position. The Event Horizon is good to set up a zone, and they go from there. I really, really, really like the way they played that fight. It was patient. It was controlled. Yes, they lose the Drake. Yes, the side of Flash Abusers is now on Soul Point, but it is awesome to see Sam finding a way back into this game and understanding how they can edge out these fights.
And it's going to start to feel a lot better for Sam Houston. A lot of shutdown gold went into the pockets of multiple Sam Houston members, and now going to start to see the itemization come through for them. Does have the Cosmic Drive done there for side of Style. He will be working on that Void Staff next, so we'll be trying to make this damage stick as hard and as closely as he can. Sam Houston, they are whack in this game. The gold lead be damned. Flash Abusers mispositioning there. They were punished for it. This Baron coming up in another minute. Sam Houston, they are starting to come online. These items are starting to make a huge difference. Escargot and Style got so much work done on the back line there. They were left largely uninterrupted, and when you give them that kind of capability, when you give them that much time, it becomes very difficult to survive them. As facing another fight here, walled off. iLucky just going to continue to eat the punishment here. That was a lot thrown to try and get the Mundo, and now it's not going to work out for them. They're going to continue to zone. Flash Abusers off of this, and iLucky, he's really just going to heal back off of this. Has the Nami there to help him out with that, so Sam Houston looking for the reset. Now, they do know that the Trundle has left, so they might try and find something here. Baron taking 25 seconds. Squid not going to find anything. It's going to be the teleport investment out from Style. They're going to get back out into the rift, so there's not going to be any kind of sneaky Dragon, or sorry, any sneaky Baron taken from anybody. That's a nice Horizon landed there on top of Bento. He's going to blow below half. It was a stun down on top of washed up mid. Does not have access to the passive. That is important to note. So if Anivia gets hit, she will go down within the first little bit of the team fight. Another Horizon landing on time with Shin Mulfer, and Style landing this poke, starting to make this hurt. Sam Houston, they do not want to start this Baron off. They want to buy a little bit of time, let Areskagol set, get the wave pushing. Squid trying to walk around. Trying to make his way through there. Style sitting on a ward. They know he's there. They're going to try and commit for this Veigar. They have to knock him down. It's the only way to win this fight. He's going to go into the stasis, though, so that's going to be the engage blown. It's going to print it over the wall, but it's not enough. He flashes over, and now it's Sam Houston. It's their turn to get back into this one. Engage is going to land. It's a double kill for Escargot. It's Sam Houston when they needed him. Their ADC is going to deliver. It's a triple kill. He shows up for Sam Houston in a big way, and now Sam Houston, they're going to shove this out. They are starting to win these team fights. They are starting to win across the map. And Sam Houston, they're trying to wrestle control of this game out of the hands of Flash Abusers.
The flash abusers find a decent angle, but aren't able to pop Style before he gets that Zhonya's off. And at that point, you've used so much engage to try to punish this Veigar that you don't have anything left for the rest of his team. They're just kiting out the Hecarim. Bento flashes over the wall to finish off the kill, but at the cost of his own life. And these fights are so close. If 100 more damage comes down onto the Veigar, that fight opens with him dying immediately. The Nautilus isn't flashing in from a troll angle, but they're just not able to finish him off because of these stalling tools, because of these disengage and re-engage tools. And Sam is just executing these fights at a higher level. And the finger dip is truly starting to show.
Absolutely. And now Style going to be the happy recipient of a lot of that assistant gold. Didn't collect any kills off of that one, but be happy to complete the Void Staff. Sam Houston, they are now well and truly back in this game. Flash abusers may have stalled this out too long. They may have not capitalized on their opening. And Escargot showing up huge for Sam Houston, getting multiple kills in the backline, left for so long to do that damage. It's going to be another Dragon coming up here in 30 seconds. And you have to feel like Sam Houston are in the driver's seat on this one. Yes, they are still down gold. It's about 6,000. Yes, they are still technically down the Dragon, but they have been winning these fights. The Style has been so slippery to get. This Veigar is doing damage. They are getting work done. And now you have to feel this is going to be the pivotal Dragon fight. Sam Houston, I don't even think they're concerned about getting this Dragon. They want the kills. Because they could turn to end this one if they can keep all of their members healthy.
They need to avoid losing sight of how their team succeeds, though. They don't want to take a hard engage. They need to wait out the engage.
Yep, it's going to be the ultimate dropping down there for mid. He's not going to be able to sustain that one. Lucky has slipped through. He can look to engage this anytime he wants. He's just trying to prevent any of these guys setting up. It's going to be the Sun on top of the Anivia. She's going to go into the passive, and now Sam Houston, they've got to take the continued fight. Onslaught of shadows in the background, but nothing's going to happen. Meanwhile, Melancholy still trying to make space for Escargot, who pulls it back, rips the feathers away, and now he's going to be able to do the damage. It's going to be a resurrection there onto the side of Flash Abusers, but it's not enough. 1v9, he's got to get out of here, and this will be the Dragon going the way of Sam Houston. He has access to the Flash. A fantastic re-engage from Sam Houston to knock the Anivia into the passive, and now they're going to be forced to back out. Flash Abusers, they are losing control of this game.
Absolutely, that fight's wild. And again, Sam Houston does what we'd mentioned. They play correctly. They're slow. They're calculated. Event Horizon catches the Anivia out. Now you go. They didn't just run in blindly and aimlessly. Another excellently executed fight, but also another incredibly close fight. That was still, at the end, a 4 for 3, even with so much going right for Sam Houston. These fights are truly on a knife's edge. The catch here, though, is that Sam Houston's comp is officially starting to outscale. Eventually, a death cap's going to come through for this Veigar, and it's going to take a whole lot fewer spell rotations to finish off some of these members of Flash Abusers. And I really do think that it is safe to say this is now Sam Houston's game to lose.
Absolutely. That Veigar going to be looking to complete that that fourth and final item. Is going to be 3-8. Got 2 kills off the end of that fight as we're going to go into the replay, because we may have to tentatively cancel this one as you're going to see the end of that. So you see Anivia gets done up initially, goes instantly into the passive, and then it's the tidal wave follow-up. Onslaught of Shadows in the back to try and get on top of those carries for Sam Houston, but it just wasn't enough because he didn't stay in the fight. He just walked out to center stage top, and then just a double kill from Rushkill before he goes down on the rip back of the feathers. They weren't able to knock down the Hecarim at the end of that, but at that point, it's the fight lost for Flash Abusers, and they are starting to get choked out of this game.
Flash Abusers also needs to start playing more calmly around this feather storm, right? We've now seen this multiple times from Ereshkigal, where he throws those feathers out, and he's getting massive value from the pullback because the Flash Abusers aren't willing to wait in position.
They were sitting on vision. That's going to be the calling out there, trying to bait this CC, trying to bait out this engage from the Flash Abusers. Now, they have the inside track to this one, so Sam Houston are going to have to respond. They cannot take the Baron right now, not with those members running strong. Their access to this mid lane is going to be cut off, and this is going to be the tower going down for Flash Abusers. They are making the call to try and get into this base, but they need to be so careful because once they're in, they may not get out. Sam Houston trying to wrap around this one. They've got to coordinate their CC carefully. It's going to be the tidal wave that's going to land on top of multiple members. Shen Morpher, he's got to try and buy some time, try and live. He's trying to get on the background, trying to get to Style. Multiple people going down. That's Lucky going to be slayed by Bento, and it's going to be the jungler going out for Sam Houston. They maybe end up losing this fight. Still multiple health bars, still strong health bars here for the side of Flash Abusers, but do they want to get more? They need to be careful. Style is up. He's going to have access to this ultimate really, really quickly. No, it will just be the second inhibitor take. They want to just try and get something. Flash forward from Bento, not able to land the hook. Style, he's going to try and chase them out of there. Going to try and land the Event Horizon onto another one, not able to. And Flash Abusers, they will just get the inhibitors. They will back out of this one. Do they fancy themselves a Baron?
Sam Houston loses sight of what their comp does correctly, right? We saw them go in and throw down the tidal wave as engage, throw down the E while just running at the enemy comp. And the flash abusers will punish you if you run into them. You have to wait and let them start these fights. And that could prove to be a critical mistake, as this is the perfect lane setup for flash abusers to have constant pressure on this Baron for the next few minutes. This game is wild, Horizon, back and forth.
You know, this healing right now for the side of flash abusers is saving them. Shin Wolfer living for so long on the front line there, buying so much time for the carries of this flash abuser squad to get work done, giving Leon and Washed Up Mid plenty of time to do the damage. So Sam Houston, they're going to have to find a way to either just outright delete some of these carries, or they're going to have to adjust and build. Maybe some things might need to get sold here, as starting to see some of the final items come out. No death cap still for this Vigar. Even having 290 is going to pick up this blue buff. Dragon spawning in a minute 30 seconds. No priority on Baron from either of these teams. Now, Styles going to go shove out this top lane, but he's going to have to make his way towards that bot lane pretty soon. Don't want to have anything that any of these carries from the side of flash abusers can teleport. You don't want Washed Mid on the Anivia teleporting to a stacked wave. You don't want Shins teleporting to a stacked wave. So Sam Houston, they have to be very careful with this. Double inhibs down means they do not have any agency to make mistakes.
Yeah, and look where Washed Up Mid's positioned. Oh, never mind as he leaves. I thought he was going to go for kind of a death brush idea there in the bot lane, which would have been very interesting if he gets the right person to walk up on him. But yeah, this bot lane being pushed out should give Dragon priority, and that needs to be the focus here for the flash abusers. You've got this shoved out. You've got good vision on your flanks. Kite back towards this Dragon. Do not give up this soul point, because these fights are so close. That soul very well may decide this game.
And most importantly, they're going to have to respond to that top wave, and flash abusers know this. They're just trying to buy time, forcing this Sam Houston squad to not go and respond to that one, trying to keep their vision. Sam Houston, if you do want to try and fight this, you're going to have to choose a moment and choose it now, because that double stacked wave is going there. They are pinging onto it. Flash abusers know it's about to crash. Sam Houston, they are gambling. I think they're making the gamble here to try and contest for this Dragon. There's another 15 seconds, though. That wave will only be held there for a couple seconds in that top lane. So it is going to crash towards the turret, and they're going to have to keep vision on everybody. This could be a base race. This could be a toss-up right now. If you lose sight of Shen Mulfer, if you lose sight of Washed Up Mid, they will teleport down. There's going to be another wave going toward this. So that is a double wave of super minions. Someone is going to have to respond to that. It is going to be the Nami going back there. No, sorry, the Mundo's going to come back. Yeah, it's going to be the Mundo going back. Well. Yeah, Sam Houston, they are just choosing to not contest this Dragon. They are choosing to give up and live to fight another day. Their inhibitors will be coming up soon, but it may not be soon enough. They're going to go try and grab this Baron. Sam Houston, I don't think you can afford to give both of these. You're going to have to find some way to fight this.
They've got no control and no vision, though, so this is so dangerous to walk into. And even if they were taking these fights, look at their builds, especially, you want Grievous Wounds for the Aatrox, but now with that Ocean Soul coming through, so little Grievous Wounds on the side of Sam. No, they can't. I mean, even if they could, they've got no guarantee. Well, I guess they do see it on the blue orb. They've got no guarantees that that doesn't just cost them their lives.
They want to stop the backs. This is Sam Houston. They are gambling that they can win this right now. They're going to try and get one, so that is one that does not have Baron. They're going to teleport out. Wash not going to stop any of the backs right now. Now, iLucky manages to get there just in time. They may try and get him as well. iLucky going to land the cleaver, try and slow him down. James will pull them back, so he will get out. But that is one, at least, for the side of flash abusers that does not have Baron.
Yeah, they managed to rip the Baron off of the Nautilus, but at the cost of their teleport on iLucky. So now this pressure all over the map is going to be that much harder to deal with. They've given over Ocean Soul. The Rabadons comes through, so we have a death cap on the Vigar, who should have just a blue billion AP. How much is it? About 1,200 at this point. But the lack of Grievous Wounds is a big concern for me, and it doesn't look like Aresh Kagal is going to be backing to finish that anytime soon. I suppose they do have Putrefier, which is good.
But that's not going to be enough, not just on the Nami.
No. The Nami shields and heals will be able to help hand that out. But this healing, we've talked about it several times. These fights are close, right? They're marginal. They're knife's edge. It's a 3-for-4 with people walking away with slivers of health. This next team fight's going to decide a lot, and I don't know that I like Sam Houston's position in it anymore. That Soul and Baron might be too much.
Now, consolation prize for Sam Houston. Their inhibitors are respawning, so they won't have to worry about a backdoor anymore. So they will have that to work with. They can look to contest something. They can look to continue to be patient, wait out this Baron, but we are reaching the hyper late game where the gold leads and the itemization is going to start to matter less. It's going to come down to execution. That death cap available for the Vigar means that they will have that to play with, but they're going to have to work through a lot for the side of what flash abusers have, because there are some stasis. Washed Up does have access to the Zonias. That's going to be the Cullen coming out now, so that could be what Sam Houston need. Obviously, that ability won't be on cooldown for too long. But if they're trying to target this Anivia, Kramer, they have to get it right, and they have to get it right the first time, and they have to have great follow-up engage because this Anivia will survive. That's going to be the ultimate. Zonia's out now, and they're not even going to go to the passes, so that's the Zonia's used on the Anivia. It's a big ultimate use for style, but it's going to be up really, really quickly. They're just trying to land this damage as much as they can because Leon, he is in that mid lane trying to knock down these inhibitors. They're trying to buy as much time as they can to start knocking down these structures. Sam Houston, they must pick a time to go, and they must pick it soon before they lose the entirety of their base. It looks like they want to go now. They're trying to jump on top of him. Wash is going to go instantly to the Resurrect, into the Act 4, and the Anivia is down. Lucian's getting the work done at the top lane, but it may sacrifice this entire team fight to do it. Lucky doesn't want anybody go. You must get more if you're Sam Houston. You must get more than the mid laner. Lucian trying to dash out of this one. And they're not. They're just going to get the Anivia, and they will lose the majority of their base for it. Flash Abusers will find their way out, and the inhibitors will be knocked down for the side of Sam Houston.
It's 2 inhibitors lost to trade out the Anivia, but at the end of the day, looking at the summoners expended for Sam Houston, this isn't that favorable of a trade. They bought themselves time, but what is time at this point? Almost everyone's full build, and you're giving up 2 structures, so you now have to deal with those supers. One thing that they do have successfully done, though, is waited out that Baron, which I think is a critical mistake by the Flash Abusers.
But they've traded it, though.
Baron.
They've traded it for Elder, though. So Sam Houston, they're back in the same situation they were, where they have these inhibitors down and they can't leave their base because of the teleports available to multiple members of this Flash Abuser squad. This really just feels so frustrating, I think, for Sam Houston, knowing that you can't leave your base, knowing that you're going to have to give up this objective, because if you try and send somebody to contest with this Elder, they're certainly going to die unless you think that Fozzie can get it on his own, flash in, flash out, a blast cone, whatever, something to try and get as a pause is going to come out here. This is so difficult for Sam Houston.
As we get back into the game, this is going to get dicey fast.
Sam Houston, they have 1 minute and 40 to work with. You have 1 minute and 40 to shove those waves as far back as you possibly can to buy yourselves time. There are wards littered close to the base. Those will be expiring, though, by the time the Baron comes up. Sam Houston, you only get one chance to do this. Any mistake, if you lose vision of Washed or Mulfer for even a second, you will lose your base. You will lose this game. Sam Houston is trying to hold on as closely as they can, and I mean, Kramer, it doesn't get closer than this for both of these teams, because on the side of Flash Abusers, though, you know that if you lose this fight into Sam Houston, they can close the game with the respawn timers being as long as they are.
You're exactly right, and we said it in the pregame, right? We wanted a back and forth affair.
This may be it. That's the goal. Gonna have to try and survive this right now. He's gonna blow the ult immediately. He's gonna full back. Gonna get the feather rip. Shin Mulfer buying so much time, though, is healing throughout this. Ultimate is gonna be so valuable for them. Tidal Wave gonna be coming through. Not gonna be the full engage yet from Flash Abusers. iLucky trying to find something. They see all members. Onslaught of Shadows on top of the ADC. That's Sam Houston's damage down, but they trade it back for the jungler. Sam Houston, they may have their way into this because their jungler is still up, but they're missing some damage. They're trying to get something. Ultimate's going to come out from Fozzie. He's trying to absorb as much damage as he can. Bento will drop. Leon on the back. It's going to be Style going into the stasis. The rest of Sam Houston has to get there. Horizon's going to come out to buy a little bit more space, and this is such a close team fight. It's going to be Vigar dropping, though. That baby Flash Abusers winning this game. They're dropping forward. It's a double kill for Washed, and that's going to be it. That's the final nail in the coffin. Leon, he's going to knock down iLucky. Sam Houston, they hung it for so long. They tried to contest it. They tried to wait so long in those team fights to get the key members, but when it came up clutch, they couldn't do it. Shin Mulfer, absolute MVP for this Flash Abuser squad. He absorbed so much damage, so much engage, bought his team time, and he's bought his team a win. They're going to tie up the standings, and Flash Abusers take down Sam Houston.